Welcome to Passion of the Soul with me, Ellena Lieberman, the new power hour for your consciousness. This is the space where you awaken to your authentic potential, the truth of who you really are. Here, we open the mind and heart and tune into the essence of the soul, the force that fuels your entire being and invites miracles into your life. Each episode inspires you to respond to the layers of potential within you and bring your unique legacy into the world. As you listen and watch, you'll discover that you can be the answer to your own quest. Get ready to tune into your innermost voice and live in alignment with your highest truth. Passion of the Soul starts now. Hello, I'm your host, Ellena Lieberman, and you are listening to Passion of the Soul on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us this hour and let us help you experience the new power hour of your consciousness. Every first and third Thursday of the month, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will bring you some of the most brilliant visionaries, artists, healers, and authors who have walked miraculous journeys inspiring you. Tonight is episode 12, Akashic Records Live. Well, you know, when we first started working in the Akashic Records, there really weren't too many people who knew about it, and that was way back in 1990. But now there are many people who've written books about the Akashic Records and many practitioners out there. So not a lot of you know about it. But let me just ask you a few questions. Do you think that the primordial field of energy, known as the Akashic Records, can evolve and grow? And where do you think the Akashic Records are anyway? Are they deep inside of you, or are they somewhere off in spirit? Well, tonight we are going to feature a wonderful panel. These are the owners and managers of Akashic Records Consultants International, LLC, or known as ARCI, and they will reveal a new dynamic consciousness with remarkable possibilities. So let me just tell you a little bit about them in brief. First, we have Rose Marie Swanson, who is a spiritual coach, a public speaker, and co-owner of ARCI. She's the mantle holder of the Akashic Records. She's worked in the records for more than 30 years, giving divine wisdom to help people recover from past trauma, unlock their potential, and discover their life's purpose. She's written a new book, Exploring the Infinity of the Akashic Records with channeled messages from Mary Magdalene. And then we have Reverend Wendy Wahl, who is a certified Akashic Record teacher and consultant for over 20 years. And she's also a Usui and Karuna Reiki master teacher, podcast guest, and the originator of Soul Verse Presentation. And finally, we have my sister, Roni Reisler, who has been working with me. We learned at the same time in 1990, working in the Akashic Records as a teacher and consultant for over 35 years. But in the 1990s, the art of making mandalas entered her life, guided by spiritual calling. Through her practice, she realizes her purpose to create mandalas that anchor beauty and light into the physical world. Each mandala she creates serves as a portal to higher consciousness, guided by the deep connection to the Akashic Records. Welcome, welcome everybody to our show tonight. So let's continue a little bit and hear what everyone has to say with all your years of experience. First of all, right now, with all of this experience, how would you define the Akashic Records compared to what you originally thought they were? And how has accessing the Akashic Records made an impact on your life? And let's start with Rosemarie Swanson.
Thank you, Ellena. When I first discovered the Akashic Records, my understanding they were ancient scrolls, and then that knowledge evolved into books of wisdom. And then after many years of working with the masters, teachers, and loved ones, my understanding now is it's an energetic pathway that holds all information concerning your soul. It is anchored in the cells, the DNA structure of your body, and then goes on out from you as an individual back to source. And everything has records.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very interesting.
As far
So
I'm
it's
sorry,
no, that's really interesting. So
you
what? Go
you
ahead.
asked me about impact of my life.
Yeah, yes. Let's go on with that.
Um, Gosh, there's been no limit to what the impact in my life has been, Elena. It has assisted me through the journey of my husband with cancer and dying. It has assisted me in business endeavors and personal endeavors. So that I don't believe there's an aspect of my life that has not been very lovingly touched by the Akashic Records.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's wonderful to hear because people need to know the depth of it and how it reaches completely and fully into one's life. So really, thank you for sharing that. Wendy Sue Wahl, how about you? How did your definition of the records change and how does it impact your life?
I didn't, I thought they were like a little place that you tapped into. And now I realize that they're a living, breathing, ever evolving um, place of energy that allows us to access them. And they have our highest good in mind. What they want for us is our very, very, very best, perfect imperfection. They'll take us where we are. And for me, I say they've taken me from victim to victor. There's when I first
Great.
started, when I first started, I had a lot of fear in me and a lot of anger and a lot of I could name 1,000 things. And now I feel so much more whole and present and able and capable and loving.
That's such a beautiful quality of working in the Akashic Records, that it's so deep. It goes so deep into the heart of a person to discover that kind of truth and to live with it and live their life by that. And it's transformative on people's paths. So I think you're talking about a wonderful, wonderful qualities about the records. So thank you. And Roni, would you like to share what your definition is today and how the records have impact on your life?
When I first began and we began together, I wasn't sure about what it was, but I was curious about it. And I know that you were very quickly imbued by it, but I sort of went, I want to see what this is, what my sister's doing, and so on and so forth. A particular event occurred very early on is that my brother-in-law learned how to do the Akashic Records, and he was giving consultations to people. And I noticed the difference in his speech and vocabulary and posture and the information he was giving me, which I thought was unlikely of his usual character. The difference was so marked to me that I said to him, "You tell me when the lady who taught you how to do this comes back. I'm going to be there." And that's when Ellena and I went. And I love the idea that this was somehow an opening of a veil of some sort, that all of the sudden things were lifting and opening, and I was connecting to sound, image, words that I didn't know exactly where they were coming from, but it wasn't for me. I was sure that it wasn't for me. And now, after years of working with different philosophies and teachers and schools, I am convinced that it is the vast frequency and wave and quantum particle of the entire universe.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Well, this is so terrific and inspiring, ladies. This is wonderful to hear. And now we're going to get ready to take a little break. But before we do, I want to give all the listeners the information about Akashic Records Consultants International, LLC, also known as ARCI, which actually is a school. It's a school, and we have a new updated website, learnakashicrecords.com. Like one word, learnakashicrecords.com, a sacred path into the wisdom of the Akashic Records. And there you can find consultants, classes, teachers, and much more. We're developing a beautiful sense of community, communication. We meet once a month. So I urge you to check it out and see what it offers you. I'm Ellena Lieberman, your host. To get in touch with me, you go to dynamicmanifestation.com/connect. I'll be very happy to share information about special consultations and classes. I'd love to hear from you. You are listening to Passion of the Soul with Ellena Lieberman. And guess what? When we come back, we're going to be discussing the powerful creative contributions of our guests tonight. Looking for inspiration that awakens your soul? Join me, Ellena, on Passion of the Soul every first and third Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, on Transformation Talk Radio. I interview brilliant creators, artists, healers, and visionaries. Visit my website, dynamicmanifestation.com. Passion of the Soul, where your truth comes alive.
Have you had an experience you can't explain? A sign, a presence, a knowing that left you changed but unsure who would understand? I'm Gina Gale Gray, and Weird Real Life Stories is more than a show. It's a sacred space to explore the mystical, the mysterious, and the deeply personal. Each episode features true tales that awaken intuition, validate soul signs, and open hearts. And now I want to hear your story. Visit anywheremindbodysoul.com to send me a request to share your experience on this show, or discover how we can work together to explore the meaning behind it. Tune in every first and third Wednesday at noon Pacific. Let's explore this mystery together. And if you're ready to go even deeper, my channeled book with my son Spencer, Listen to the Silence, Messages and Miracles from Spencer Who Never Spoke Words, is waiting for you at listentothesilence.org.
Are you constantly triggered by your mother? Do you feel that no matter what you've tried, you cannot break out of your repeating patterns that are keeping you stuck? Do you feel sad, angry, or frustrated for no apparent reason? From Burden to Brilliance is a profound exploration of how our birth experiences can deeply influence various aspects of our lives. I emphasize that the way we were born and the environment we were born into affects everything from our emotional health to our physical coordination and mental clarity. My approach combines ancestral healing, reprogramming the neural pathways in your brain, and energy work to help you rebalance and break free from limiting beliefs and repetitive patterns. Are you ready to dig deep? For more information, visit shannonbtb.com. That's shannonbtb.com.
We're back on Passion of the Soul, and I'm your host, Ellena Lieberman. Now, let's explore a little bit further. How can the Akashic Records fuel and direct you to an ultimate level of creativity? So let's delve into each panelist's magnificent achievement through the Akashic Records and what they've created. And first, we want to show what Roni has created. Now, you may have seen the show where we had a lot of her mandalas, about 4 or 5 mandalas, but this is a brand new mandala that will be up on the screen. So Roni, if you want to give the title and the description, and then where people can get the mandala prints, please go ahead.
The title of this mandala is Mandala for the Vision of America's Divine Destiny. And it was commissioned by Gail West, who also at one point had a program here. And she asked me to do it. We talked about how to do this. And I went to work. And it was a unique kind of commission because basically I was not opening the records of an individual. I was opening the records in order to achieve this with a series of different kinds of energies, including the United States of America. So I actually opened the records of a country. Eventually, I went into just opening the records of the mandala as the images and the processes started to come through. It's filled with symbology, and they feel like very pertinent and necessary symbols to communicate a divine destiny. So it comes with a discourse which explains all of this, and I will go ahead and explain it. The entire mandala is based on the anchoring of the tetrahedron, which is recognized as the Merkaba, or the vehicle of light. And the purpose of that, of course, is it is considered the vehicle that carries one's soul or energy to light or enlightenment. It's ascension. That is the real primary shape of the mandala, and you can see the anchoring trails crossing in the middle and interweaving through the points. It is drawn in two-dimensional, as it's drawn on two-dimensional surface, the points of the interlocking triangles, which normally would spin in the quantum field, the points would come out in dimensional, but it's on a piece of paper, so that didn't exactly work. But behind the larger stars, the smaller points that would be extending back. The foundation of calling in the vehicle of ascension to bring greater light and love to mankind creates a universal power that can be felt or experienced by all beings in some way that is unique to them. The center of the core, that is the portal of the divine light, which most mandalas have, a core center which opens into a higher frequency, is the symbol of ultimate realization. The center of the core, the portal, emanates another center, the ultimate realization of the crown chakra. So you see this 8-pointed sort of swirling thing going around with little lotus petals. That is called the Sahasrara, and that is the ultimate achievement of the crown chakra when one has achieved enlightenment. So we're asking to have this vehicle take one into enlightenment. We're bringing in another symbol that represents enlightenment. And out of that comes the hands of light, the blooming lotus of violet, purple, and white light that brings supreme peace and awareness. It is represented in the construction of the 8-pointed star in the center, around the portal of light, sweeping outward through the tetrahedron. From the Sahasrara emerges the hands of light, which you can see coming out from the little tendrils of the star, and they release the doves of peace and freedom. The doves rise to the most forward presence of the circle of hands, which is almost seen as in front of the tetrahedron. And the doves are meant to initiate what they represent to the beings whose hands are in the circle. The circle of hands is created in many colors, depicting all beings, reaching out towards each one, carrying love in hearts of gold. They are one over the other, layered like this, which you probably can see, and they are one on top of the other, but they keep reaching out to the next hand. So this represents reaching out and a creating link of connection. And the next level of the mandala brings forth the angelic realms, which are part of the divine destiny, and they're dwelling within the Merkaba. The greater white-winged angels are, of course, the archangels who oversee the protection. They are the guardians, and they are shielding us through continuing unfolding evolution. And behind those archangels are smaller wings, and those are specific angels given tasks, and they're cloaked in copper as conductors of compassion, warmth, and prosperity. And the outer circle of the mandala is held by the symbol of the Liberty Torch from the Statue of Liberty that burns still by our shores and encircles all possibilities. May this mandala bring peace, joy, and promise to all those who view it with great blessings.
This is so profound and beautiful. I mean, it's like the endless wellspring of creativity and love pouring out to America, pouring out to everyone. Mm-hmm. Just absolutely incredible and beautiful in every way. Thank you so much. Roni, what were you going to say?
I will say with all my heart that personally, without the Akashic Records working through me and bringing techniques and images for this, I would not have done it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is the truth. That was, the Akashic Records were my rock in this project.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely fantastic. And the height, it's the height of the vision. It goes so far beyond the possibility, the personality, and so clearly comes from a soul level, another level and beyond, tapping into something that's totally, I'm just so inspired by this. I love this. You know, it brings out the love. And so we're about to take a little break, and I want to continue this section with everybody talking about their creativity, because you can see the Akashic Records take you to another level with it. And it's such a partner of your heart, soul, and your core and your vision. So we're going to take a little break and continue with our creative processes. And you're listening to Passion of the Soul. I'm your host, Ellena Lieberman. And this time we're going to continue the first part after our break to hear about these tremendous creations. Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Looking for inspiration that awakens your soul? Join me, Ellena, on Passion of the Soul every first and third Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, on Transformation Talk Radio. I interview brilliant creators, artists, healers, and visionaries. Visit my website, dynamicmanifestation.com. Passion of the Soul, where your truth comes alive.
Hi there, Anahata Roach, the Crystal Coach here. Do you have things that you do and respond to or feel triggered by that you have no idea why? Whatever that is, whether it was something that you are even conscious about or you actually have a memory of, there is in your body stored programs and trauma that an emotional clearing will help you unlock. It's called the spiral, and it is one of the most amazing clearing modalities I've ever come across. If you'd like to know more about the spiral and this wonderful modality that has helped so many people, including myself, please go to my website, thecrystalcoach.com, and click on the Discovery Call. It's free, and who knows, we might be meant to work together.
Are you ready to awaken the wisdom that's already within you? Join Shakti Botazzi on Soul Wisdom Project, Remembering the Living Blueprint of the Soul, where spirituality meets real life. Tune in every first and third Tuesday each month at 9 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio to open a doorway to healing and embodied purpose, helping you move from self-doubt to self-love and from confusion to clarity. Explore more at theawakenedpath.com.
I'm Tristan, a shaman, astrologer, and human design reader. I help unravel spiritual ideas to create change and growth in your life. Whether you are just beginning or need a knowledgeable best friend with the next phase of your journey, I'm here to help. Think of me as your pragmatic shaman bestie. I work with high-vibe, lovely people like yourself in personalized sessions that will leave you with a sense of clarity that energizes you to make impactful change. Connect with me, your pragmatic shaman bestie, at musingsandmodalities.com.
We're back on Passion of the Soul. You have just heard the most magnificent description of Roni Reisler's mandala. So what do you think? I want to tell you what we emphasize. It's just one area that we talk about and emphasize in Arky's website, learnakashicrecords.com. There you'll connect to a community of artists, seekers, and get a wonderful listing of teachers, consultants, and classes. And they work with a sacred prayer method with heartfelt purity and dedication. And we are revealing that when we hear these partners speak, it's so clear how real and how truthful this work has been from the bottom of their heart. So let's go back and hear more about the creative processes. And Roni, tell everyone where they can get in touch with you or order the prints of that beautiful mandala.
You can reach me by sending an email to Roni, Roni, at Mandala of the Soul, that's all together, .studio, or you can call me at 847-767-1214. That's 847-767-1214.
Thank you, Roni. And now we'd like to hear from Rosemary Swanson and repeat the title of your book and talk about this wonderful book, which I have read at least twice now. I think it's the premier book about the Akashic Records because it's so real and sincere. It's absolutely an outstanding book. So please go ahead and tell us about it.
Thank you, Ellena. The beings that we work with when we work in the Akashic Records, we call them masters, teachers, and loved ones, had been after me probably for 5 years to write a book, and I just didn't want to do it. And you think of creativity, there's many different levels of creativity that I've experienced through the records. The first was beginning to see the beauty and the love of how they moved through assisting my clients. And then there's personal creativity of learning to make jewelry. And then I finally broke down and agreed to write this book, and this is written purely through the records. The reasoning the masters gave me for wanting the book to be written is dispel the myths and the falsehoods of what was out there by the records, because there's just so much out there that's not true, just absolutely not true. And they wanted themselves represented from a place of the heart and place of the truth. So when I began this journey, I began it with resistance. I wrote the book. I sent it to an editor. I wrote what she brought back to me, and I tore the whole thing up and started all over again. Because I knew that my resistance was blocking what needed to come through. So I was able to shift with their assistance and their guidance. It enabled me to shift, and I would sit down and I would simply write what I was being led to write. There was no strife, there was no struggle. I just sat and typed everything that they gave me to type, and the chapters fell into place, and everything just went smoothly, and it just simply flowed. And that's the beauty of the work and the records. I'm sure Roni experienced that with her mandala as well. There is a fluidity when you tap in, when you're in that deep loving place in your heart and come from that purity, and you're uplifted to the higher levels of love, you get a whole different realm of information. And I feel like that's what was accomplished when they wrote this book through me, because that's essentially what happened. And along the way, Mary Magdalene came to me, and she asked me if she could assist me in writing the book as well. So I would write a chapter, and then I would stop and I would go into meditation, and I would ask Mary to come through me. Now, I'm not saying I'm Mary Magdalene. I worked with her, and she came through me and gave me information. So there are divine sections of channeled messages from Mary Magdalene about this, and she's answered many questions that are often given to me as well. So I feel completely blessed by bringing through this information, and I'll just show what it looks like. You can get it on Amazon, and I just love it. So thank you, and thank you for your endorsement of it, Ellena. I greatly appreciate
It's a
that.
great book, a beautiful piece, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. And Wendy Sue, we want to hear from you and your very unique creation and how you're bringing that to the world. So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to know how to contact Rosemary.
Did she? Oh, she didn't.
Thank you, Wendy
She said
Sue.
as Amazon. No. Rosemary, how do we contact you?
Thank you, Wendy Sue. You can reach me through my website, and it's simply my name as one word, rosemarieswanson.com. And my website has my all my direct information to connect with me there. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Wendy Sue. Be sure to give your information too. So let's go ahead and hear about your creation, which is very unique.
How I want to start this is something off of what Rosemary said. When I was in 7th grade, my teacher told me that I couldn't draw a line with a ruler. I couldn't draw a straight line with a ruler. So there were so many influences towards creativity for me that I used to cry. I took the artist's way with a friend of mine, and I would cry when I had to do my art projects. So when I started to do the soul verse and putting together this presentation to allow people to come home to their precepts within themselves, the actual vibrations and resonations that are there when they come in, the thing that allows them to walk and have a guideline. The records, just as Rosemary said, they just developed the whole thing. I've taught it in several different states, and I've taught it online, and everyone feels like they come away knowing themselves better. And that's what's important, because the record keepers know pieces and parts of us that we try and deny, we try and push back, that we're like cover up with an egoic belief system or stance. And some of those things that, like I'm bossy, but I'm also can be very helpful in a situation where somebody needs a bossy person. So it can be a gift and a curse. And so how do we bring that into a place where it can be accepted by you and even cherished by you, and then tamed to be utilized for the best and highest good. So I actually dropped it just a minute ago, but I'd love to read mine if you want.
Please go ahead. Yes,
This is
sure.
The records woke me up at 3:48 a.m. knowing that I am resistant to creativity, and they gave this to me in one. I didn't have the records officially opened, but you could tell that they stepped in, and this was what they gave me. And then they developed the course around this. Allow me to penetrate the truth and attune to the vibration and frequency with my openness, willingness, and truthful seeking. Release the flow of information from all the universes, above and below, within and without, seen and unseen. Cradle and embrace my innocence. Reveal the divine design so I may align with the service of my soul and understand the true nature of my journey of light. Allow me to recognize the essence of my divinity, manifest in whatever form it has come to rest in this moment, and allow me to die to myself so I may live in myself.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, and then I've set that to music too in little paragraphs so that when I get in a pickle and I have to remember, okay, Wendy, you need to die to that egoic stance. Allow me to die to myself so I may live in myself. And so those little ditties in the music help me live by this. So
beautiful.
Thank you. And you can reach me.
How do we reach you?
Yeah. You can reach me, and my email is withinview@gmail.com, withinview@gmail.com, and my website is within-view.com. So, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And this reminds me, I just want to say something because I've given two shows already about my book. But the interesting thing about the principles of dynamic manifestation as received through the Akashic Records is that the main thrust of it happened in the laundry room, which was in the basement of a very high third-floor building. And it was a 1927 building, and we had to go way down into the basement lugging the laundry. And the shed was on one side, and you put the quarters into the machine on the other side. And I repeated it. It was very cold, and we had to go outside and do the laundry. And I always opened with this because something happened. No matter what was going on outside of me, I opened up 2 shows on here in Passion for the Soul talking about that. Because then we got into the more mystical, deeper, truthful stuff. But I was overwhelmed with gratitude all of a sudden in this very below earth position. And it was a flow of the opening of the heart. And when I was filled with gratitude, when I went upstairs, I couldn't write fast enough. And then I wrote a chapter called Hallelujah, Brothers and Sisters, which was what we did a couple weeks ago on the show. And the question becomes, and I really want to share this with the audience because it's about the style of the evolution we all have in Arche, is that there's something so beyond that we don't control. It comes into you, and there's this light and joy, an inner core vision that happens, and it seems just to happen. And it's not coming from a particular outside focus necessarily. It's this deep inspiration, and it is a connection. It's a connection with your soul, your spirit, and heart. And suddenly, it just happens. I just saw that our original teacher was Mary Parker. I looked at Mary Parker, and I was filled with light and knew that was the teacher. And I never experienced so much before. And when we listen to all of your experiences, they're so peak. They stop time. You're talking about things that stop space and time and put you into deep, profound, divine connection. And I want to make that point. It is so characteristic of the core of Akashic Records Consultants International, LLC. We all came from that.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to ask one question probably, and then we'll hear a beautiful meditation by Roni Reisler. Looking for inspiration that awakens your soul? Join me, Ellena, on Passion of the Soul every first and third Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, on Transformation Talk Radio. I interview brilliant creators, artists, healers, and visionaries. Visit my website, dynamicmanifestation.com. Passion of the Soul, where your truth comes alive.
Want a speaker who can inspire your audience and keep them laughing and learning all in the same moment? I'm Erica Gummany, and that's exactly what I hope to do when blending personal stories, deeper spiritual insights, and practical wisdom with a whole lot of humor that keeps everyone engaged. My intention is to create safe, transformative spaces where real growth and connection happen. Book me to speak or facilitate something amazing at yourpivotalpoint.com.
Tune into the Dr. Diane Show, where we explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. I bring over 20 years of expertise as a mindset warrior, perspective shifter, and unshakable optimist dedicated to helping you reach your wildest dreams in business, health, performance, and relationships. Join the discussion on the show. Learn more about me, Dr. Diane, and receive a free digital copy of my magazine at naturalnutmeg.com.
Tune in to Break Free and Trust, a redesign for living with me, Jacqueline.
And me, Chris, on Transformation Talk Radio, every second and fourth Monday at 3 p.m.
Learn to connect with your intrinsic power to grow and to heal, and how to laugh at your own humanness and not take life too seriously.
Witness the field of potential that arises when you take personal responsibility and become the divine creator in your own life.
Visit theway-healing.com for more information.
There is more to life than simply surviving or even thriving. There's flourishing. High performance and quantum success coach Beth Larson helps you calibrate and elevate your life. Beth specializes in working with women who want more from their life, more energy, joy, passion, connection, and more meaning. As your coach, she will help you get clear about your life, prioritize what's important, and become a master of your energy. Visit BethLarsonCoaching.com.
We're back on Passion of the Soul. I'm your host, Ellena Lieberman, and I want to thank all these wonderful creators who are with us tonight. And as we said, we are just basking in a beautiful fountain of light tonight. And Roni is going to be doing a special meditation. And I want to be really clear that the meditation, which is called Pillar of Light, is really about the feeling and the background, the wisdom and the core of working with the Akashic Records. This is not about how to access the Akashic Records. We use a sacred prayer for that, and we teach it very carefully over days to people because we have such reverence for that prayer. We know what kind of door it opens, what kind of channels it opens for people. So we have great respect and for it. But what we're going to do with the meditation that Roni gives is to create a pillar of light, which is part of everything we're feeling and talking about this evening. So go ahead, Roni, and you can see her gorgeous mandala that is now up for all the viewers and listeners.
So let us all just plant our feet on the floor very clearly and securely, and take in a deep breath, a deep, deep breath, and let that breath come through, up through the nose, and up through the face, and up through the crown chakra, reaching to the soul star that is above you, your own unique soul star. And now let us take another deep, deep breath, bring it in, exhale, bring it in again, and now feel that breath come down through the throat, into the high part of the chest, and down into the chest, and allow the chest to expand. And feel that breath fill your chest, fill your heart, fill your sacred heart and your personal heart, and let your entire chest expand with the breath of light and the breath of life, and let it expand completely through the shoulders into the arms and hands and outward. And now let us take another breath and bring that light which you are holding in your heart, your entire chest, and bring that breath down into the torso, the hips, the thighs, down into the knees, the shins, the ankles, and down through the feet into the core of the earth. And now take another breath and realize that you are illuminating yourself and allowing the heart to expand completely, so that there is a resonance and a vibration and a dazzling light, an illumination that extends from the bottom of your feet and the base of the earth all the way up through your body, through your torso, illuminated by your expanded heart, and coming back up through the throat, behind your mask of face, behind the eyes, above into the brain, the pineal gland, and up through the crown chakra, all the way up to the soul star. And feel that frequency vibrating completely throughout your entire being. Feel it radiating, illuminating, emanating, filling the space that you're in and beyond. Let it move out beyond the room that you're in, and feel it humming and glowing and glistening as it reaches out continuously up to the soul star. Know that you are now the pillar of light that holds light wherever you are. You may plant a pillar of light with love from the heart, from the expanded heart, and the light that you hold and represent and are within your space of being. And you ask it, you beseech it, we implore it, we invite it, we invoke it for the highest good of all concerned. And so it is. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes, take a breath, and come present.
Roni, that was absolutely magnificent. Thank you. I'm sure it reached out to I don't know how many people all over. It was so expansive and absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of you viewers for tuning into Passion of the Soul. I had a wonderful time, and I'd love to hear from you. You can contact me at dynamicmanifestation.com/connect. Please join me the first and third Thursday of the month, 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. Next time on August 6th, please join me for my show featuring Jacqueline Neureuther, an advanced healer from Harmonious Pathways, Movement, Awareness, and Renewal. See you then. Thank you for being with us today. I'm your host, Ellena Lieberman. Be sure to tune in every first and third Thursday night at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio for more Passion of the Soul, where we connect with brilliant creators, artists, healers, and visionaries who have walked miraculous journeys. Continue the experience at dynamicmanifestation.com. And if today moved you, share the show and like us on social media so others can awaken their authentic potential too. Until next time, listen deeply, trust your innermost wisdom, and live your passion of the soul.